Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Deadly Spark and welcome back to another Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator video. Now, it's been a couple of days and hopefully there will be another video out following this one, but for now, we've got at least this, which might be a shorter one, might not be. We've got roughly 100,000 Spartans versus 10,000 Roman generals. I don't know if 10,000 Roman generals will be too much or if it will be perfectly balanced for what they're fighting. Um, and if the narrow pass will have anything to do with how well the battle goes for either side. But that's what we're here for, to find out. So without further ado, let's begin and see what happens. And immediately the generals are zooming. They barely even break apart to go around each other because of how quick they are. The Spartans aren't too slow themselves, to be honest. Look at that glow of the shields. It's quite impressive, actually. The generals will be significantly stronger, or at least do significantly more damage, so hopefully it means that this is balanced. But there's only one way we'll know for certain. Look at that, it's already such a tight sort of section. And the thing that works in the favor of the generals is how tight it is. Because I was just thinking about how if this was in a flat field, the Spartans could completely surround the generals, meaning that more of them are doing damage and are ready to continue doing damage. Whereas here, it's just this front of soldiers that are attacking, and that's it. And that's all it's gonna be. This, however, is not good. This is exactly how teams lose. Through the complete and utter stupidity of the AI sending them flying down the hill. Doesn't look like they're getting down this far though, but you know, it is what it is. I just think this might take a while, which isn't exactly good. And there's no quicker way down at all for the Spartans. This is potentially a mistake of a potentially lackluster video. This is more of a see what happens. So this could be sped up to see how quick this goes. Yeah, this doesn't have as many developments. Have their shields always looked like this, or have they updated the model of the shields? I don't remember. I thought they were just a plain shield and didn't have any sort of extra detailing on it. If they did change that, that's pretty cool. But yeah, and the speed in which this battle is going is quite snail-like. So we'll probably end up speeding this up. Why are these not holding up their shields? We'll probably end up speeding this up because this is going significantly slower. I thought this would be a bit more interesting because the generals are quite strong, and that was the plan, was to see how quickly they could destroy the forces. Doesn't look like that's happening, so I'll come back. So I'll be back when we're close to the end and you guys get to see the development of this. I don't think I'll speed it up necessarily unless it takes a while, so you'll know in like, I know, when I finish talking whether I've decided to speed it up or not. But if this is quicker than I expect it to be, well, you know, like 15-minute type video, then it won't be sped up. But if it takes ages, it will be sped up because it's repetitive. And we'll just see how this goes. So I'll see you when I return. It has been a bit, definitely has been sped up, as you've probably noticed. This has gone for a while. But it's interesting. I've come back now before the end because it's interesting how this has ended up developing as the Roman generals have pushed through the valley. It's gotten harder and harder for them to well, it's not necessarily got harder and harder for them to push forward, but because they're spread thin, they're not as backed up. Almost as if if they stayed in the trench, they would have had a better chance. But now they're spread so thin that I'm not sure if this is an accomplishable task for them. They've watching the start, I was expecting them to win with no competition, and judging by this, there is a lot of death under this. So, even with the death of a bunch of Spartans for being stupid, I think the Spartans will end up winning this one, which is not what I expected going into this, and as the battle progressed. But now it's looking rough because the less units there are to stack up, the more the Spartans can maneuver around them, therefore making them more effective. And then the more effective the Spartans are, the better they are overall, especially with their numbers. And it doesn't matter how good you are if you don't have the numbers to back it up. And the Romans don't have the numbers anymore, despite having the overwhelming strength, as the death behind them shows. And I'm pretty stoked with this outcome, actually, it being different to what I expected, despite it actually not ending up being as close as I thought it would be. It's the opposite result to what I was expecting, which is always nice to get a surprise outcome. I don't know what you guys predicted with this. If 100,000 Spartans would beat 10,000 Roman generals. But I thought the generals would take it because they're really strong. But I think they pushed themselves out of a strong defensive position, and it's not worked. It's not worked in their favor. I don't think the Romans will end up pushing back to this conglomerate of death. I don't know why there's still a bunch of units up here. I guess because occasionally sometimes they fall down and get behind them-ish. But yeah, look at this. The Spartans are starting to push through and utilize their maneuverability to their maximum potential now. And now that they've broken through the lines, that this is it. This is the last gasp for the Roman generals in their quest to conquer the Spartans, of which 100,000 was too much. Look at that. It's how different it is. The first time the Spartans have really been able to push an advantage. Though it's funny when Spartans fall down. And it's like they try and flank, but they immediately get killed. Look at that. After all that, the Spartans have ended up winning. I wonder how many are left. It's probably still like, if I had to estimate, there's probably still like 20,000 left. Maybe more. Which is a bit of a shame, but yeah, I wish it could have been closer, but I think this was interesting nonetheless. Like this, I mean, look at all this. Oh, look at that though. That's a lot of dead Romans. Remember we were pointing that out before? Okay, let's quickly capture the end of this. Nearly missed it. Yeah, we're pointing out that they're falling before a bunch of... I mean, I don't think it would have made a difference in the end. But it could have made a big difference in the impact, like, that they would have pressed their advantage. I mean, a bunch of Spartans died, so... You know, the equivalency is probably still the same in the end. But... Look at this, as we come to a close, the last Romans fighting tooth and nail to get as many Spartans as they can before they completely collapse. And there they go. And the Spartans get a victory. An unexpected one, to say the least. But a nice change. Let's have a look. Oh wow, there was still 46,000. I completely underestimated how many were left. And that, wow. So, despite the overwhelming strength, it looks like you need 20,000 generals to take on this force. It must have been so obscured by how little there were compared to how much there was up here. I really thought the Romans were doing better than they were, and it looked like with the few times I looked back that they were in complete control, but yeah, let's clear them out the way and look at the destruction. Oh, some of them actually flung backwards. That wasn't my intention. So we start down here. We can see the death and destruction that is the stupidity of the Romans. And this is where the attack started, and they just pushed. And there's this valley of death as they just kept pressing on until they eventually got to this point where they started really losing out. And you can sort of see, I don't know if that's the same height the whole way, I think it is. But this is, I mean, even here it looks like they slowed down a bit more before they eventually lost. But I mean, that's it's a pretty impressive push considering. But oh wow, and yeah, look at that. Look how many Spartans died. Oh my god. Yeah, that little pile of stupidity from the Romans was nothing compared to this. But with an impressive shot like that, and we'll just ignore the, you know, thousands of blasted Romans. That's an impressive looking end. So, with that, thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, feel free to hit the like button. If you enjoy this content and want to see more, feel free to subscribe and leave a comment on what you want to see in the future. For now, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!